What's up, everybody? This is Theo E.J. Wilson with African Diaspora News, and like many black men, I'm a survivor of police brutality, so I really hate to have to report on this story. But less than 2 miles from my house, Aurora Police Department killed a black man in broad daylight named Rajon Belt Stubblefield, and what I'm about to show you are the last seconds of his life. And in the bizarro world where an unarmed black man simply in conflict with an armed police officer is a crime punishable by immediate extrajudiciary execution, something that not even Ted Bundy and Jeffrey Dahmer got, you lose your pro-cop argument right here. What was that? What kind of de-escalation are we looking at here? And like always from the police department, we get a conflicting report with what people saw with their own eyes, including a report that Rajon had a gun on him that he then threw away and was telling people to go get, which even if that were absolutely true, he didn't have it on him, so he wasn't a threat. Even from multiple angles showing clearly that the cop chose to just use his firearm and not a non-lethal option. After provoking conflict even further when he could have just taken him down when he turned his back, you still have cops and their lackeys defending this murderer. Even after we have videos all over the internet of people other than black people in open violence against police officers here in America, and the cops still find a way to subdue them without taking their lives. Did I tell you that Rajon's son was present and was begging the cops to leave his daddy alone? What would you do if you were being violently assaulted by some race soldier in front of your children? You tell me. Not to mention the vicarious trauma of everyone who witnessed the moment they pulled the trigger, which is why I did not show it here. Need I remind you that Aurora Police Department is also the police department that killed unarmed black teenager Elijah McClain just a few years ago, that sparked so many of the Black Lives Matter protests that we had here in the state of Colorado. And since Aurora Police Department have half-stepped every possible measure of justice and accountability, they whole-stepped their way right into this mess. The Aurora Police Chief even admitted on camera that the officer who was involved had prior use of force complaints, just like Derek Chauvin when he killed George Floyd. And if you still think that the cop was in the right for what was done, then let me ask you this. What other tax-paid first responder gets to kill an unarmed citizen who's paying them because they felt that their life was in danger? I'll wait. Yeah, that's what I thought. And speaking of taxes, this is the moral difference between when a black man kills another black man and, let's say, Officer Bob kills a black man. Because when Tyreek killed Jamal, Tyreek wasn't paid by our tax dollars to protect Jamal, was he? To find every other option possible to preserve that citizen's life, was he? Yet Officer Bob killed a black man and he get paid administrative leave. How is that not incentive to kill a black man if you're having a hard week? And look at what the citizen is left with. Since our tax dollars are paying these folks, we're paying their salary at the moment they killed the civilian. We're paying for the paid time off that they get while they recuperate, and then we're paying the settlements when justice is supposedly done from our own tax dollars. We're literally paying the police to kill us. From every angle, we're funding our own destruction, and this is what we're protesting. Because believe me, if you from the black community, you don't fall for that line where y'all don't ever protest when black folks kill each other. Damn that. I've been to so many Healed Hood marches and gang truces. It's absurd. Since the 90s, I've been dealing with this. But the fact is that all these half measures that the police take when the city burns and things get chaotic in the streets are the reason why they fall flat on their face yet again. So don't talk about Blue Lives Matter if you haven't figured out how to hold these folks accountable. Don't talk about Blue Lives Mattering when you literally have documented cases of white supremacist gangs infiltrating police departments and killing black citizens. Now, don't get me twisted. Police work is tough work. But the problem is when they look for tough people to do this work, they look for a specific kind of tough guy. A tough guy that might have covert Aryan tattoos, a tough guy who might have been to Iraq, Afghanistan, kicked in doors and took people's rights and lives, and now wants to get into a line of work where he can use those skills. But the fact is, they look at these guys as assets when they need to start looking at them as liabilities, because every single time one of these cowboys gets a use of force complaint and nothing is done, every single time they crack somebody's skull. Number one, the police department is risking the fact that it could get caught on camera and they'll lose even more face and they'll have even more protests. But the fact is, it is costing them the connection that they so seek with the community when they look for our trust. We ain't giving it. Every violent police officer needs to be looked at as a lit match that will one day burn the city down when the kindling gets dry enough. One solution that I propose, one nonviolent solution I proposed, is that these settlements for these wrongful death lawsuits come from the police's retirement fund. You got to change the consequence metrics for these folks so that they understand if you create a wrongful death and the likelihood that it'll be caught on camera is more likely than ever, you're going to have to pay for it at the end of your career. That's just one piece of legislation that we as the people could propose, get passed. And I think that honestly, the Aurora Police Department would be a great place to start, because when it comes to people who abuse the rights and lives of the folks who they're supposed to serve and protect, these folks are right for some correction from the people. My name is Theo E.J. Wilson. Go ahead and follow my YouTube channel at Theo Cyrus Rising, and I'll see you later with African Diaspora News. Holla back.